Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us today. Carasoft Technology would like to welcome you to our ServiceNow Public Sector Tech Talk, Modernizing Cyber Defense, How Generative AI and AI Agents Transform Security Operations. Before we get started, I would like to quickly go over a few housekeeping items. Please note that all lines have been muted to reduce any kind of background noise during the presentation. If you have any questions throughout the webinar, please use the Q&A feature on the bottom of your screen, and we will do our best to answer by the end of the presentation or follow up with you offline. This webinar is being recorded and a copy will be emailed to you. Just to tell you a little bit about Carasoft, we are a trusted government IT solutions provider supporting public sector organizations across federal, state, and local government agencies, including education and healthcare markets. At this time, I'd like to hand the floor over to our speakers. The floor is all yours.
Thank you, Sarah. How you doing today, everyone? So, uh, let's get started with this. So, who we are and what we're going to be talking about today. My name is Pete White. I am a security operations specialist, solutions consultant with ServiceNow. I cover the public sector vertical with my accounts being both civilian, defense, and federal system integrators. I've been with ServiceNow for about 4 years. Joining me is Jason Stevenson. He's been with KPMG for 7 years and works in supporting their federal customers and with their security operations deployments. Has been around AI for a number of years and is definitely a leading expert in cybersecurity, automation, orchestration. Jason, you want to say hi?
All right, hello. Thanks for including me in the presentation today. Pete, really excited to be here.
Excellent. Before we get started, just a quick little safe harbor notice. While everything we're talking about today is released solutions, for the most part, there may be questions that come up that may require us to talk about roadmaps or visions for the future, and don't make any decisions based upon that. And if you have any questions, reach out to your account team for more information. So our agenda for today, we're going to give a quick overview of generative AI and the Now Assist version, our version of generative AI within the products, how these solutions address or work with security incident response solutions. Jason's going to talk about some of the lessons learned from the field from his customers and as they've started to deploy Now Assist into their environments. We'll go through a demo of the solution, kind of walk through how the various different skills and AI agents that we provide can help you work with your security incidents. And then if we have time at the end, we'll have some Q&A at the end as well. Okay, so as we look at the cyber landscape and all the competing requirements the security teams are struggling with, numerous regulations and reporting requirements, we hear customers dealing with disconnected people, processes, and technology. You've got large organizations, people and processes all over the place. Security teams dealing with swivel chair solutions. You're working across multiple teams. The people are disconnected. The processes span multiples of different systems, and there isn't a core understanding of the technology landscape, the estate you're trying to manage. How does ServiceNow help? Well, ServiceNow allows you to simplify this cyber risk management with the power of AI. Sure, there are lots of vendors in the security and risk space. So why security now? In short, it's about combining AI plus data plus workflows that unite on a single platform. The first box is AI. Every solution at ServiceNow, every product is built on the ServiceNow platform. One data model that reaches across every corner of your business. We'll talk about AI a little bit more later on, but think of AI in two ways. It's assistive, which means generating content, such as helping with case/incident resolution notes, or autonomous, taking action and orchestrating end-to-end processes in the background for maximum efficiency. The second box is data. Your cyber risk management lives on data. A strong data foundation underpinned by the CMDB and the interrelationships and dependencies of this data with the devices and critical business services that are talked about. And finally, workflows. Workflow is our DNA. That's how we were born as a company. This is about orchestrating workflows in every corner of your business to create a more resilient IT estate regardless of the department. So let's dig into AI in a little bit more detail. ServiceNow AI is a combination of skills and AI agents that don't just assist, they take action. Teams of AI agents working together to orchestrate end-to-end business processes. You can leverage AI agents across your entire cybersecurity landscape. AI helps you make better decisions, measure performance, and facilitate reporting with AI-driven insights and single pane of glass visibility. The positive effects of AI are provable. Here at ServiceNow, our internal security team cut their incident response resolution times by 50% using Now Assist security incident response. And 80% of the analysts share a positive sentiment when asked about the Now Assist features. Data. As I've stressed already, this is all built upon the AI-powered ServiceNow platform. Whether you have 10 tools or 100, they simply plug in seamlessly to the overarching program of work. And since ServiceNow has hundreds of integrations with the security solutions you rely on, we remove that complexity for you. That puts all the data you have across your ecosystem to work better for you. We take this data and contextualize it so security incident and risk assessments are mapped all the way down to the individual service level in the CMDB, removing any gap or obstacle to remediating an issue. We can combine the different types of data, devices, business context, threats, controls, identity, in a single place to truly understand what each of these signals are telling you. Data in isolation is just that, a data point. Put it all together and you have the true insight that teams can act on quickly. Finally, workflows. There's a reason why we talk about the power of the ServiceNow platform, because it really does achieve that single pane of glass approach to SecOps and risk that we're all striving towards. Think of workflows as a true system of action. From a single pane of glass, ServiceNow is the only solution that can truly identify a vulnerability, route that issue to the correct team, isolate and contain that vulnerability, schedule and deploy a patch, and then report on those issues or take a security incident, enrich the incident with internal or external threat intelligence, understand the upstream and downstream effects of an incident on a business process, enrich it with vulnerability data mentioned before that could take what may seem like a simple malware incident and turn it into an active exploit of a known vulnerability on the system, all from a single pane of glass. And the impact is meaningful. Using ServiceNow to automate workflows across teams has allowed our customers to achieve up to a 70% reduction in time to resolve incidents and allow up to 50% reduction in time to remediate vulnerabilities. These purpose-built applications for security and risk deliver out-of-the-box workflows that are ready on day one to streamline your employees' work, which is a stressful area of their business. All efficiencies help reduce burnout and make them more productive. And again, all these purpose-built applications work on one data model and one platform. With our recent launch of AI agents for security and response and other key workflows, your teams have AI as their superpower to accelerating reaction and response. Because ultimately, in short, the future belongs to security teams that embrace AI. You can't do what you've been doing forever any longer. The threat landscape has changed. We have to depend on AI to get us to moving there. Security teams and AI agents results in better threat detection, faster incident response, and an overall stronger security posture. But how do we do this in your environment? Bringing trusted AI to every corner of your organization has been difficult. You don't know who to trust with your data. Old separate systems needed years of data integration. General purpose AI models didn't fully understand your mission. And AI is separated from the systems your employees and customers use every day. To solve this problem, you need a strategy that fits your business. To start with your custom AI strategy, think about three main things. Will you buy or build AI solutions, or both? Which options will give you the best value for your money and the faster results? What problems are you trying to solve with AI? What does your business need and how can AI improve work for your people? And then how will you manage the AI you bring into your business? Like any technology stack, you want to be consistent in your policies and control them. A key feature of our AI solution is that making sure the security is built in from the ground up. A key advantage of buying AI with ServiceNow is the out-of-the-box controls for security, privacy, and compliance that help you meet your organization's AI governance requirements. Trust is embedded in ServiceNow operations and core values, with our CEO, Bill McDermott, setting the example saying, trust is the ultimate human currency. It is gained in drops and lost in buckets. We've designed our guiding principles for AI development with customer trust in mind. Focus on four main pillars: human centered, clear guidance on AI usage, empowering customer choice by identifying when AI is used, and offering responsible deployment guidelines. Our AI solutions are designed to be human assisted. Inclusive. All AI teams and data sets are continuously tested to understand impact and control for undesired bias. Transparency. Open communication with AI through product documentation and model cards. Focus on clarity and understanding the limitations of AI products. All actions of the AI models are tracked and auditable. And then finally, accountability. Trust is central. External and internal oversight structures in place for governance, ensuring customer confidence in our AI capabilities. When we're looking at ServiceNow's AI methodology looks at the problem with the following flow. The first step is the why. What are you attempting to solve, and what goal would you like to meet? If you don't have a reason for doing it, you don't just do it for doing its sake. Part of the step, while not in this chart, is a middle layer between one and two, and that is the trigger which causes the process to be kicked off. Is this process manually kicked off, run every so often, or something automatically triggered on a record being updated or created, or something else? The second step involves the how. Determination of the plan to address the why based on the agents and the features the orchestrator has at its objectives. Think of the orchestrator as the brains of the operation that's making the plans and sending off the various agents to go off and do their work. This is the key piece of the AI platform within ServiceNow. The next step is the who. The orchestrator knows which agents they have at their command and what part of the process these agents can perform of the needed tasks. We understand what these agents have functionalities to do, what areas they live in, what skills they have available to them, and then can send them off to go do those. And then finally, that, as I mentioned, the skills. This is the what. This is the actions that are being done. Which of these tools are the tools that the agents use to perform these tasks? They can be workflows, traditional or agentic in nature, skills, generative AI skills, and information sources like knowledge-based articles that can help them drive the process. So you have access to all this different parts in the process. So let's take a deeper look into the solutions we're going to talk about today. ServiceNow Security Operations, or SecOps, is divided into two areas. While both of these applications live on the ServiceNow AI platform, and you get all the benefits this enables, both these applications are what we call scoped applications, in that if a user does not have access to the application, they will not be able to access the information contained within, which we know is a very important to our security teams because of the data they're often dealing with on their day-to-day jobs. The first is proactive and the other is reactive. The proactive side is our vulnerability response solution, which provides the ability to import vulnerability scans from infrastructure, application, and cloud vulnerability solutions, and provide the workflow to get these vulnerabilities in the hands of the people that are responsible for getting them addressed. Removing the spreadsheets and the emails and the other manual processes that most organizations deal with when dealing with security vulnerabilities. The reactive side is which is our security incident response solution, which is the focus of this webinar, which provides a full enterprise security case management solution based on NIST 861 that also provides orchestration and automation response functionalities as well as several other functions. Each of these have the ability to be enhanced utilizing our Now Assist AI functionality. When you license Now Assist for security incident response or vulnerability response, you're provided several out-of-the-box AI agents and skills for each solution and more coming down the road. We'll dig into the security incident response agents in a little more detail in the next slides.
So, Pete, just to jump in here on this slide, we had some lessons learned early in the adoption of Now Assist that are related to, licensing and using the orchestrator as you have outlined here. So going to the orchestrator itself, the AI, the data, the workflows, the way we kind of looked at it with our client is we focused in on where are we going to use generative AI, where are we going to use agentic AI, and that really goes to the data model. So looking at things that have been around forever, like categorization and outcomes that ties into the triggers, and then what are we trying to predict based on information that is in the various records like security incident, and then using workflows, existing playbooks, existing workflows. Where are we going to enrich records like security incidents with particular observables? What predictions are we going to try to make off of those observables? And then where are we going to trigger orchestrations? So those were all early lessons learned for us is, understanding the orchestrator and the model and those components. The other element that we really focused in on here is what are we buying? So in our situation, we had both the proactive and reactive components that you're talking about with security incident response and vulnerability response. But what actual SKUs are we buying here? And what is our licensing model? How does that relate? And so we focused in on security incident response first and looked at that particular product line. And what we needed to understand there is the separation of, security incident response, vulnerability response, other Now Assist features like using it to draft playbooks and that kind of thing. So understanding what are we buying, and then also understanding that Now Assist operates at the platform level, and that these Now Assist for security incident response, for example, runs on top of the Now Assist capability at the platform level. And so making sure that we understood those usage models and how Now Assist processes usage within our security team as well as for teams in other products like ITSM and what have you.
Good points. Thank you, Jason. So for the Now Assist for security incident response, the includes a number of out-of-the-box skills that allow your security teams to boost productivity by compressing your mean time to contain by getting security incident context much faster with case summarization, speeding up investigations with recommended actions based on knowledge-based articles and prior security incidents, and then ultimately expediting resolution by creating resolution notes and post-incident analysis. No more close your notes of fix, done, like I used to do in my SOC days.
Yeah, and just piling on to that, Pete, where our client was looking at was really that boost productivity element that you talked about. Certainly, we had, we were looking at mean time to respond, mean time to resolve. And what we're looking to do is, increase efficiency and boost productivity to ultimately achieve those metrics. So what we looked at there is, basically the return on investment. And I know you're going to be going into skills later in the presentation, but what we really focused in on is the out-of-the-box skills, versus the investment in Now Assist for security incident response. And we said, yeah, in year one, just being able to do things like summarize incidents, do post-incident review, getting recommended actions, and correlating threat intelligence data, that was justifiable from a return on investment perspective, even before we got into things like the agents and the custom agents that are possible. So that's how we kind of looked at ROI from a skills level in year one, and it made sense.
Okay, good. Thank you. Uh, Next slide. I can get to go there. Come on. Okay. My slides. Okay, there we go. My slides weren't advanced. So this is an example of one of the agentic workflows that we provide. It's resolving security incidents. So as we talked about before, that orchestrator sits on top of the process here. They have access to these agents that they can utilize to do stuff. The first one is that plan generation. It analyzes all the relevant contextual information and generates a structured resolution plan, guiding the fleet of AI agents towards resolution. This process can be based on previous incidents, knowledge base articles, prompts, and other techniques available to them. The orchestrator has access to a number of out of the box core platform features available to it, including sending emails, creating records, or any other parts of the platform, for example, as needed. You may need to generate an incident for the IT team or a change record, things like that. Those are all functionalities that are provided to them. The orchestrator can deal with security specific agents, which deal with threat lookups and orchestration functions, such as deleting phishing emails or doing a threat lookup to an internal or external threat intelligence source. But then ultimately, the best part is this use case is extensible. Customers can enhance incident resolution by adding future ServiceNow out of the box AI agents, or even creating custom AI agents that Jason talked about there, utilizing AI Agent Studio. We'll show about that in the demo later on. This ensures they can automate and expand a range of incidents, and we'll talk about more about this later, as I mentioned. Another of the out of the box agents addresses a common issue security teams deal with, which is quickly coming up with operational metrics. We have provided an agent that will help build out these on the fly calculations. Real time metrics around mean time to assist and resolve and other security type common security features are available there, as well as looking at incident volumes. Are we seeing a certain type of incident come in, or is there a certain uh, threat that's showing it's coming up more often than other times? We can provide optimization recommendations looking for areas of potential automation, things that we can do more efficiently with automation, get rid of the manual steps. Are there things that we can do to improve and utilize the technology even further? So these are all functionalities of that operational metrics AI agent. So now let's at this point, I'm turn the presentation over to Jason, who will talk about some of the government customers that he's been working with on their AI journey and their use cases for deploying Now Assist. Jason?
Well, thanks for that, Pete. So, working with the federal government, it's serious business. The mission is, protecting lives, property, data, our citizens. So, taking it pretty seriously when we have threats out there, we need to, decrease that threat risk. And so we really looked at, ServiceNow as, a great platform to do that, layering in the Now Assist on top of all of the key security operations products, really takes us to a whole nother level. So what we're looking at, in our use case, was really, mean time to respond, mean time to resolve. So, you have your SIMs out there and your scanners, and getting that data into ServiceNow, detecting an alert or ingesting a scan. That's a lot of data coming in. There's just volumes and volumes of threat data. So just getting into the mean time to respond, digesting all of that threat data was a big part of our use case. And then, resolving, again, you can do all kinds of enrichments with various API integrations available through the store. You can do orchestrations, including firewall blocks and things like isolate hosts and that kind of stuff. But, really using Now Assist to further automate those playbooks, further leverage orchestration from that single pane of glass that Pete was talking about, and then basically increasing the efficiency of all of our cyber incident response teams and vulnerability response teams. The way that we looked at that was really using again those core skills and agents to enrich the data within the to start with within the security incident. And just to give a couple of examples, the summarization skill, for example, within Now Assist. If I'm a security incident response analyst and I'm coming into my security incident because it's been assigned to me, the first thing that I need to do is read everything. So I'm looking at observables, I'm looking at the work notes, the descriptions of the alerts, and so forth. All that takes time to digest. And when you're looking at that digestion activity or that analysis activity within a security incident, that takes time. So right off the bat, just being able to click on summarize the security incident and getting all of those work notes, those observables, and the descriptions from the alerts and scanners and so forth from SIM integrations, having that all in one spot, immediately increases efficiency. Another element, you've now done the analysis and you need to go contain and eradicate a security incident. Being able to, use the correlation skill to understand, not only correlated threat intelligence data that's within the security incident, but also things like, did this user, recently contact the service desk and, have a help desk or service desk ticket open within ITSM that is related to this security incident, or do they have vulnerabilities from scans that are related to this security incident? That correlation capability, just again really ramps up efficiency and use of the analyst's time. And then, not every security incident has a playbook. It'd be nice if they did, but in a real world situation, there's many playbooks, but then there's a lot of security incidents that might not have that. And so having the suggested and recommended steps to be taken, it's kind of like a checklist or a sanity check, you could say, for an analyst to say, am I hitting all the points that I need? And then subsequently, when you're doing post-incident review and closing out your security incident, basically having all of that information in your closure notes to make sure that you have FISMA compliance, NIST compliance, CISA, even zero trust on the vulnerability response side. And all of those elements of Now Assist help us, achieve those compliance with those various regulations and executive orders. We can go to the next slide. So this was, a real high level look at our deployment methodology using the, traditional crawl, walk, run, and then a little bit of a play on words there, soar at the end. So what we did first is we deployed the out of the box experience and skills. So, there's several skills that are available that I've mentioned and Pete mentioned as well. Turning on the experience and the skills is pretty straightforward. Real easy to use interface there. We really focused in on out of the box before getting into agents and other areas. When we're looking at the agents, from a walk perspective, some of the things that we're particularly interested in within our federal agency is being able to hand off between shifts, being able to augment dashboards and reports with an executive narrative. When you're dealing with things like security incidents, exploits, that kind of thing. There's very specific reports that need to be produced, for a moderate or higher incident. Being able to push all of the data into a report template using generative AI. That was, part of our walk phase. And then from a run perspective, getting into using Studio, as Pete mentioned, to basically build upon the agents that are there. What we're primarily focused in on, and I alluded to it earlier, is being able to orchestrate our API integrations with firewalls to block IP addresses, URLs, domains. Also taking a look at things like orchestration on endpoints, could be isolating a host, running virus scans, restricting applications, quarantining files, that kind of thing. So having custom agents to do that. And then ultimately, the end goal of our journey is to incorporate all these skills, all these agents, whether out of the box or custom, into various playbooks, playbooks for responding to phishing, playbooks for classified data and PII spills, things like risky user playbooks, and being able to not only leverage the ServiceNow agents, but also being able to connect and coordinate with other agents that our APIs are connected with. We can go to the next slide. So some of our, lessons learned so far, I'll just focus in on these, one column at a time. So what worked well? So one of the things that we did is when you configure Now Assist, you can go into the admin portion or console of Now Assist, and you can say who can see these skills. So rather than just open up Now Assist to everyone that uses our security operations tool, what we did is we limited it to particular individuals that had the SNSI admin role or somebody that was in just a manager role. And so what we did there is, deployed Now Assist into production, but restricted the visibility. You might have done something similar in the past, like with catalog items, where only certain people can see the catalog item until you want it available for a broader audience. So in our case, it worked really well for us, even though we're in production, to restrict who can see the summarize button, who can run a correlation on a security incident, or get recommended actions. We started with basically a pilot group before we went into a large, broader audience within SecOps. Another thing that we did is, from a process perspective, even before we deployed the Now Assist capability, is we put together a vision. You've probably done visions and roadmaps for ServiceNow products and solutions in the past, and it can turn into a monster PowerPoint presentation. And so what we did is we just did like a 3-minute video. Think of it as almost like a commercial that says, here's what we see the future of security operations looking like in another year or so. Time permitting, we're going to share that at the end of the presentation. But that went a long way as far as getting buy-in. One of the things that we also did is, again, outside of Now Assist, there is the predictive intelligence capability on the platform. So what we did is we implemented predictive intelligence for user-reported phishing. It's something that's available out on the store, and it's more machine learning than what Now Assist does. But what we did there is we just kind of tested the waters, took the temperature, and said, let's get predictive intelligence for user-reported phishing out there and see what the reaction is from leadership, from change management boards and that kind of thing, architects, security personnel. That allowed us to predict, I guess you could say, how much resistance we're going to see to change in the AI space. So all of those elements worked really well for us. Some things that didn't work well were we tried to install Now Assist, with restricted admin access levels. So there's particular roles that you need to be able to see the Now Assist administrative council. There's also, as you try to get that installed from the council, requirements to be able to see into the store. You want to make sure that whomever is installing the Now Assist plugins, if they don't have platform level admin access with access to the Fed App Store, that can be problematic even if you've given them admin access to the Now Assist console. One of the things that we also ran into with the skills is something that I think just about everybody's going to run into, which is customization of products and solutions within ServiceNow. So we had done some customization of the review and closure step of the security incident response workflow and put some restrictions, basic UI policies in place that restricts, who can put it into review, what data has to be populated before it goes into review, and then some timers to get it into closed. So that customization that was out there, from like 5 years ago, that was something that did impact our ability to use a particular skill, the post-incident skill within Now Assist. We had to adjust how we restricted and customized UI policies in that respect to be able to take advantage of the skill. It wasn't a huge deal. I don't want you to think it's a showstopper or anything, but just be, cognizant of, customizations like just like, in the past that we've all run into, those customizations can have an impact on, new capability that's being pushed out into the platform. In this case, it was Now Assist. So another thing that we ran into that didn't work well is Now Assist, when you deploy it, you're deploying it to your production environment. You can also deploy it to a sub-prod environment. And there's some nuances to that. You got to work closely with your account team to provision that. But what we ran into was some of our sub-production instances were in a different stack than our production instance. So one of the things that we found out was if you're going to deploy Now Assist in both sub-production and production, it needs really to be in the same stack. So just be aware of that. Some things that we're trying out now is monitoring the assist usage. There's some great out-of-the-box reports from a platform analytics perspective that are available through the the Now Assist admin console. But we're creating some custom, I should say custom, but some tailored platform analytics that will allow us to, take a look at the logs and see who's using it and how they're using it and that kind of thing. Basically getting platform analytics, pointing it at the particular sysgen logs to do a deeper dive into usage. Uh, as I mentioned in a previous slide, we activated one skill at a time. There's several available through the council. What we did is we activated them one at a time, made sure that we restricted it to, just our development team and some power users. Tested out that skill. Once that skill was in place and working well, we moved on to the next skill, activated it. I don't think that it would be problematic to activate all skills simultaneously if you chose to go that path. But activating them one at a time worked really well for us. And I think it's something that I would recommend to others, looking to deploy Now Assist, just because, things like looking at, the roles, looking at the turning on the panel. If you run into, any issues with one skill, it can the lessons learned from that skill can apply to subsequent skills. So that's basically from a lessons learned perspective what we ran into. I'd say the key takeaways there are really, having a good vision of what the future is. Why are you choosing to go with Now Assist? As Pete pointed out in a previous slide, really focusing in on that vision, doing a little bit of a pilot with predictive intelligence. It's not necessary, but it's a good way to test the waters. And then just making sure that you have the necessary roles or cooperation between various teams to be able to deploy and then subsequently view information. All right, so Pete, I think I can turn it back over to you to get into the demo.
Okay, so let's dig in the demo right here. We've only got a few minutes left, so we'll have to move this pretty quickly here. So let's start by the first step here. So we're opening up the security incident workspace. From within here, we have access to a number of the features within Now Assist available to us. So let's go in here and look at the first one. We're going to open up this first incident here, which is in this phishing attack here. Now, one of the issues that customers run into when dealing with security incident responses or security cases rather is that many times these cases bounce around from people to people. And so understanding what's been done at this point and coming up to speed as a new analyst takes it over really becomes an issue. And this is what they have to start looking at is looking at the activity stream of all the information there. So they click on this activity stream and they can see in this case here, in this particular one, there's been 79 different activities, whether these were automated or human driven. We have to go through and read all them and figure out what's going on here and what's been done, what's still open, what all these different things like that. Well, that can take a long time to do depending on how much work has been done. These could be hundreds of different actions that have done there. Well, utilizing generative AI and Now Assist, we can summarize this directly within the incident. So this is the first area of analysis coming into play here. So the first thing is you click on that, it goes out and reads all this information and comes back with ultimately the uh, excuse me, the summarization of everything that's done. The issue that caused the problem, details about the details related to the issue, observations that have been documented so far that have been, and then ultimately the key actions that have been taken. Open action items and other important data points could also be shown. So this is the first area where Now Assist can come into play here. But let's take a look at a different one and work it through a different process here. So let's go down here and look at this one. Oops, right, went back one. Click it here, and we've got this particular incident opened up. So this is one that is just came in. It's an analysis stage. And generally speaking, you may have existing playbooks and workflows that address a lot of your common issues that you deal with. But what about those situations like Jason talked about where the playbook doesn't exist or that particular situation is a bit unique and the analyst needs some additional help? This is where our recommended action skill comes into play. So we can go up here, look at this, click on this button here. We see the recommended actions. In this case here, it's going to pop up in this dialog here. We click on Get Recommendations, and it's going to go out and look at the existing or prior security incidents that are out there or knowledge base articles to come up with some suggestions of next steps that the analyst can follow. They can click on the view details of this and open up and see what it was dealt with this particular incident or what that particular why it was brought up. And then if they want to, they can go ahead and click them and add them to the work notes to that activity stream so that future purposes will know why we did that and maybe provide an area that we can add into our playbooks or our workflows to address these types of situations. Excuse me. Okay. So now in this case here, let's move down the road on this particular incident and look at, we're ready to close out this incident. So we're into the review state. We're going to go down here, click on closed. And when we do, we're the close the security incident dialog is presented to us. The first step is to click next. If there was any active items or any tasks, those will be shown there. So we click on next. And this is the next area where Now Assist can help. And that's the creation of post-incident analysis. You can see here that we have that the generative AI functionality has provided a root cause analysis of what happened, and then as well as an impact analysis in there as well. Now, as we're going through this, maybe this is maybe a little bit too much detail. I can highlight a bunch of this activity here and click on the little sparkle guy here, and it's going to give me the ability to expand upon this analysis or shorten it if I need to. So essentially compress it down. Well, in this case here, we'll leave it be. We'll show you how that works here a little bit later on down the road here. So now I'm down through here, I'm moving through, I connect here, and I'm ready to click next. I've got everything's fine with the post-incident analysis, and we're ready to move into the closure notes. So the first step here, I can go ahead and click on what I think is the issue. Here's our various closure notes. I'll say threat mitigated, and we're ready here. This next area of generative AI functionality is these closure notes. Once again, same idea there. I can highlight it and compress it or do it if I need to along the way there. We also have the ability to create knowledge base articles. So if you want to take this particular incident and create a knowledge base article, which may avoid having an incident down the road entirely, then so much the better. We can do that as well directly from within here. And there's actually some agents that will help create those as well. So in this case here, we're actually fine with what it is. We can go ahead and click close, and this incident has been closed out, and all the activities and the closure notes and all that stuff has all been tracked in the activity stream and put in this information as well. Okay, so that's working through an incident in the kind of the traditional way of in working with the skills that are provided to them. Well, let's take a look at a different incident and one that may can use the generative AI functionality and AI agents to address it. So scrolling down a little bit further in our workspace here, let's actually go ahead and look at this one here. We've got a ransomware attack on this e-payment application. So in this case here, it is in the review state. So I'm going to use the Now Assist AI agents to close this incident out. To do that, I simply need to click up on the Now Assist agent panel up here, and I'm presented with the various different skills and agents that I have available to me that have been assigned to my user. Now I can utilize and I can click on one of those if I want to, or in this case here, I can just type in what I want to do in the dialog here. And that's what I'm going to do here. So I'm going to go ahead and tell it to close this security incident. So it's going to go ahead and finish typing in this. So I type in here the SIR number, and I'm going to go ahead and hit enter to go ahead and apply this and send it off to Now Assist. So once I send it off to Now Assist, it's going to start generating an answer and figuring out, okay, I asked to do this. What does it need to do? So based upon this, this is the prompt as a security operations analyst. You can proceed with these by following a couple of different workflows here. What do you want to do next? You can wrap it up, you can resolve it, you can generate incident reviews, whatever. In this case here, I'm going to go ahead and choose wrap up security agent. So as soon as I select that, it goes through and starts planning those next steps. Once again, it's notifying you what's going on there, so you're aware of what's happening. As soon as it comes up and comes up with a summary of the incident. It gives me some information that it was led to some critical data deletion. It affected 9 users. It's currently in review, but there's some open tasks with it. Because I chose the workflow I did, it's going to proceed with the closure flow, but it's going to go ahead and cancel out those response tasks. Do I want to continue? Once again, getting verification that this is the process I want to do. In this case, I'm going to say yes. Go ahead and do it. Hit enter. Now it's going to start going through the post-incident analysis process. So it's calling other agents, other skills. And so once it does, we got that post-incident analysis we saw before. Instead of it being in the dialogue over here, it's presented in the Now Assist panel. So he goes through it, sees some information. There's a little bit more. And now it's going to ask me to provide feedback on this. Well, in this case here, I'm actually going to tell it to make it brief. That's a little bit too detailed. I want to instead of the elaborate thing we saw before, we can do this in the dialogues as well. So I'm going to tell it make it brief. It's going to come back with the next steps, and now it's come back with a shortened version of that summary information. In this case, I'm actually okay with that. I'll say it looks good. Let's move on. Provide that, it's going to start the next steps. Next steps is the closure notes. So here, once again, we can do that same thing. If I want to make it brief, I can do that as well. In this case here, I'm actually fine with it. It looks good. Let's move on. Once again, it's asking for feedback of what's going on there. I hit enter, and now we're planning the next steps. The next one here is we're going to figure out the closure codes. It knows what closure codes I have available to us. And then based upon the information in it, it's going to recommend a closure code. In this case, it's recommending threat mitigated. I can choose to do that one, or I can choose a different one. In this case, I'm good with this one. Good to go. Let's move on. So once we've done that, we've now updated it. We're in review, and the next step is going to be to fully close it out. And so we're in the closed state, and it's asking me anything else I can do for you. In this case, we're actually all good with that. Okay. So the key point with this is that these skills and agents are not some black box process. You have access to the skills and agents and can modify them and create your own directly within the platform. Let's quickly pivot over to the AI admin areas. And the first area we'll dig into is ability to edit and modify and delete or modify and disable or enable the out-of-the-box skills. So clicking on the AI, the Now Assist admin, you're presented with the various different areas within the platform. In this case here, we're going to look at security operations, and we can see the out-of-the-box skills that we have available to us. And then if I have edited one, I can, it would show or create a copy of it, because I can do that as well. It'll show those here as well. And then you can choose to activate or deactivate. Jason, you had some insight around this correlation insight generation from your customer.
Yeah, just briefly there, Pete, one of the things that we saw with that correlation insights that we just thought was really cool was, again, talking about ITSM incidents or vulnerabilities or, data that isn't just in the security incident, but the Now Assist going out and taking a look. So like we had an affected user on one SIR, and lo and behold, when we did the correlation insight, it pulled up a service desk ticket, an INC record where it had some information related to PKI and their single sign-on, which was related to the SIR. So we thought that that correlation capability, that's something that, unless a security analyst actually went and did queries for that or reached out to the service desk, that correlation wouldn't have been immediately available within the SIR.
Yeah, great thing there. Yeah, you can get to that within the platform, but it took a little bit of digging with this tool, with this agent or this skill. It's front and center right for the analyst. So let's go ahead and take a look at one of this customization here. We'll look at it, edit it. These are out of the box ones, so you don't have the ability to do much to them as far as editing. There are some things you can do, but we'll just walk through kind of the various different features that are available here. So this particular skill is this incident summarization. You can see the LLM service that's being used there. We have one within ServiceNow, but you have access to other LLMs that you can choose to use as well if you want to. Moving on through the next thing here. Here is the base table that we're utilizing, in this case, security incident, and the fields that we're pulling from that are the input for the prompt to do the summarization information. Just a little bit more details. You can run tests on these to see if you're getting the data that you want to verify that you're getting the results that you're looking for. And then whether it's available or just that customization, that's one of those things that Jason talked about, the ability for rights control. That's one place is here. The other one is on this particular display here where it's at. Is it only available in the Now Assist panel, or is it available as that up on the screen like I showed you at the very beginning as well? And then there's different rights that go along to those that you can dig into, whether it shows up for different people or not in there as well. So that's one way to do that customization process. Okay, so that's the Now Assist admin. Another thing is the Now Assist skills. So a lot of this data can be accessed in a couple different ways here. So in this case here, we go to the Now Assist skill kits. We see the Now Assist, the ServiceNow skills. These are all the skills that were available to you. I've filtered it down for just those same ones we showed you before. So once again, showing that you can get to this multiple different ways. But the important piece of this one here is these custom skills. The ability to create your own skills that meet your needs within the environment is available within this skill kit. And simply to create them, you just click on create skills and you walk through a a process that will walk you through setting them up and doing the testing and verification and enabling them and all that different things along the way there. So that's the AI skills process. The Agent Studio is very similar. You may have worked with the Workflow Studio in the past. This is a very similar type of idea here. So in the studio, we can come in here. There's some ready-made information available that's there. You can take different tours of the data. But we scroll down at the bottom down here. We're able to see the agentic workflows that are in place, the AI agents. We can see the ones that are there that have been provided, based upon licensing or out of the box. We can filter it down to just be the ones that were for security incident response, like I've done here. So these are the AI agents that we provide. We've talked about them earlier. And then the agentic workflows, you see all the ones that are out there. And then once again, the ability to drill in and look at that in more detail here. So that's kind of the summary of the process here. I know we're running close on time, actually run a few minutes over. Hopefully you can stay just a couple minutes because I would like to allow kind of this vision document to go. I'm afraid we're not going to have time for question and answer right now, but Jason, do you want to make any comments before we hit the play on this?
Yeah, just really quick, which is, this is the simulation that I mentioned earlier that really helped get people's heads around the vision and in the coming months and year. And one of the things that I just wanted to point out is rethinking the user interface. You've got traditional user interface, you got workspace, but using Now Assist panel, I think it'll jump out to you here in this simulation.
Okay, here we go.
Ciao. Ask for your cybersecurity brief or anything.
Can you show me our open security incidents?
This chart summarizes open security incidents assigned to your group by priority.
Thanks. What are the critical ones?
Here is a list of open and critical security incidents.
Please summarize SAR 00123455.
This security incident is a user-reported suspicious email. It was submitted by Jason Stevenson today at 7 a.m. Jason has the title of manager and is a contractor located in Michigan. Risk was rated critical because Jason has elevated access.
Please analyze the incident.
The password on Jason's user account was changed 15 minutes ago. Jason's laptop has CVE 2025-29824 per the last vulnerability scan. There are no negative results from the last compliance scan. The related phishing record indicates Jason clicked on the email's hyperlink. A Wois query shows the website is a recent registration in North Korea. A virus total query indicates the website is malicious. A defender citing search confirms the email is part of a campaign by threat actor Cigar Smoke.
Can you describe the CVE?
CVE 2025-29824 involves a use after free condition in the Windows Common Log File System driver, which could allow a local attacker to execute arbitrary code with system privileges.
Okay, orchestrate a few things for me. Force a password reset in Okta, block the website in Palo Alto, isolate the host and run a virus scan, and then patch the laptop. Do that immediately and confirm the vulnerability has been remediated.
Executing orchestration now. Orchestration complete. Would you like to run the phishing playbook?
Yes, let's run the phishing playbook just to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Executing playbook automation now. Phishing playbook complete. What would you like to do next?
Update the state to review.
Updated record. State is review. Closure outcome is malicious. Closure code is eradicated. Closure notes. User reported suspicious email. Email was confirmed as malicious phishing. Blocked address and URL. Isolated host. Scanned host and eradicated one virus. Patched host to address CVE 25-29824. Opened incident for the service desk. Notified user. Eradicated phishing from all mailboxes. Related security incident to campaign.
Thanks, AI. You made my life a lot easier.
No problem. That is what I'm here for. Just one question. Will I dream?
So anyway, like I said, sorry we won't have any time for questions. I did want to throw out a quick little thing. We have a big security and SecOps and risk conference coming up out in Santa Clara in mid-October. This is free to customers. You just have to pay for your travel, but I'd love to welcome anyone that can join to sign up and attend. And there's some you'll be getting a copy of this PDF of this presentation in a PDF form. Here's some white papers and links to some additional information available in this. With that, I'll turn it back to Sarah.
Thank you, Pete. I'd like to thank all of our participants as well as our speakers for being with us today. We hope the information you received during this webinar has been helpful. If you have any further questions or would like to request more information, please feel free to reach out. Thank you again and have a great day.